Good morning, dear children. In today's session, we shall be looking at reported speech, which is also known as indirect speech. So let's get started. There are two ways of reporting the words of a speaker: direct speech and indirect speech. First of all, let us try to understand what is meant by direct and indirect speech. Once we have understood the difference between the two, we shall look at the rules as to how we can change a sentence in direct speech into indirect speech. Direct speech. Reporting the words of the speaker in the same way is called direct speech. This is done with the help of inverted commas. The exact words of the speaker are placed within inverted commas. The remaining part of the sentence, that is words outside the inverted commas, is called the reporting verb. Just look at the sentence. She said to me, "I'm very happy today." You can see that "I am very happy today" is placed within inverted commas. So that is the reported speech. Whereas the verb that is placed before the inverted commas, said, is the reporting verb. And as I have mentioned just now, "I'm very happy today" is a reported speech. What is meant by indirect speech then? Well, in indirect speech, the actual words of the speaker are transformed. There is no use of any inverted comma. The same sentence, "She told me that she was very happy that day." In this sentence, you can see that the reporting verb is told and we don't see any inverted comma. But the content of the speaker's speech is, "She was very happy that day." So it forms the reported speech. Let's look at the sentences that we had discussed just now. The first sentence, "She said to me, 'I'm very happy today.' In this sentence, 'I'm very happy today' is put within the inverted commas. So it's an example of direct speech. Whereas the second sentence, "She told me that she was very happy that day," here the words of the speaker have been transformed. Now, if you look at both the sentences, you will find that the reporting verb has changed, like said has changed to told. The pronoun I has changed into she. The verb am, that is in present tense, is changed to past tense, that is was. Today, the adverb that is used here, which suggests time, has been changed to that day. So we realize that when we change a sentence from direct speech to indirect speech, the reporting verb changes along with the pronoun, the verb and the adverb. Let's try to understand this concept with more rules and examples. However, if the reporting verb is in present tense, the reported speech remains as it is. The tense doesn't change. Now, my dear students, if we just recap the sentences that we had done a few minutes back, you'll remember that those sentences used the reporting verb said, which is in past tense, and hence we changed the reported speech into its corresponding past tense forms. However, if the reporting verb is in present tense, then we have to retain the tense of the reported speech. Let's try to understand this with an example. The teacher says, "I'm going to give you a test." Here the reporting verb is says, which is in simple present tense. And so, what should I do? I have to retain the tense of the reported speech. In this sentence, the tense is present continuous tense, which is suggested by the verb am going. Okay. So, when I change the sentence into indirect speech, I have to retain the tense form. So, my answer would be the teacher says that she is going to give them a test. Here again, I have retained is going is in present continuous tense. So, I have retained the tense of the reported speech. And this will happen only if the reporting verb is in present tense. The tense doesn't change when a habitual action or a universal truth is expressed. For example, Mother explained Gandhiji is the father of our nation. Now, this is a universal truth for all Indians. It's not that after 5 or 10 or 50 or 100 years, the father of our nation is going to be someone else. Okay, so explain is a reporting verb and it's in past tense. So going by the earlier rules, I should be changing the sentence to Mother explained that Gandhiji was the father of our nation. Simple present tense changed into simple past tense. But we know that it's a universal truth and hence we have to retain the present tense of this reported speech. So our answer should be Mother explained that Gandhiji is the father of our nation. Similarly, another example, Sir said the earth revolves around the sun. Again, it's a universal truth. We know that earth, the planet, revolves around the sun. It's not going to change. So here again, though the reporting verb is said, which is in past tense, we should not change our answer to past tense. That means we should not write, Sir said that the earth revolved around the sun, because then the meaning changes. And hence, the correct sentence would be, Sir said that the earth revolves around the sun. The tense is retained. While changing the sentence from direct speech into indirect speech, we need to change the time too. That means the adverb with reference to time, adverb of time has to be changed. For example, tomorrow will change into the next day. Yesterday, the previous day. The next week, the following week. The last week, the previous week. Today, that day. Some more examples. This, that, these, those, here, there, today, that day, now, then, tonight, that night. So, all these verbs will also change when we are changing a sentence from direct speech into indirect speech. Another example, the auxiliary verbs, the helping verbs will also change. Can will change into could, will into would, do or does, which is in present tense, will change into its corresponding past tense, that is did. Is or am will change into was, are will change into were, has or have will change into had, and may will change into might. So along with the adverbs of time and place, even the auxiliary verbs or the helping verbs will also change. While changing a sentence in direct speech into indirect speech, the pronouns also change depending on the sentence. Let's have a look at some examples. Meena said to Sunil, I will come to your house. This sentence, when I change it into indirect speech, it would be Meena said to Sunil that she would come to his house. So if you observe both the sentences you will see that the pronoun I is changed into she since it refers to Meena, and the pronoun your, which refers to Sunil, has been changed into his. Another example, the children said to me, "We are playing in your garden." Again, when I change it into indirect speech, my answer would be, the children said to me that they were playing in my garden. Here the pronoun we refers to the children, which is changed into they, and your garden, which refers to the person me. It is changed into my garden. So you see children, when you change a sentence into indirect speech, usually the first person and the second person changes into third person depending upon the object to reporting verb. In other words, the pronouns change according to the sentence. Now we know that there are different types of sentences. So based on the type of the sentence, the reporting verbs change. If it is a statement, we use the reporting verb as said or told. If it's a question, an interrogative sentence, then we have to use the reporting verb of asked or inquired. If it is an order, then we use the reporting verb ordered or commanded. If it's a request, then requested, pleaded can be used as a reporting verb. And if it's an exclamatory sentence, we use the reporting verb exclaimed. In today's session, we have learned how to change a sentence from direct speech into indirect speech. While making these changes, we change the reporting verb depending on the type of the sentence. If it is a statement, the reporting verb is said or told. If it is a question or an interrogative sentence, we use the reporting verb of inquired or asked or questioned. If it's an imperative sentence, we may use commanded or pleaded, requested, ordered. And if it's an exclamatory sentence, we may use exclaimed and so on. Along with the reporting verb, we need to change the tense of the sentence. Simple present tense will change into simple past tense. Present continuous will change into past continuous. Present perfect will change into past perfect. And if the sentence is in past tense, then it will change into past perfect tense. But again, we have to remember that if the reporting verb is in present tense, or if the speech talks about a habitual action or a universal truth, then the tense of the sentence will not change. We even change the pronouns of the sentence depending on the subject. The time, the adverbs of time and place may change when we change a sentence from direct to indirect speech. The modal verbs or the auxiliary verbs are also changed when we change a sentence into indirect speech. So in today's session, we have basically learned how to change a statement into indirect speech. In my next video, I shall be explaining how to change an interrogative sentence into indirect speech. So thank you all for watching this video. Make sure that you watch the next video so that the concept of indirect speech is clear to you. Thank you once again.